Peace, everybody. Welcome to Capital Combat. The name says it all. I'm Hakeem Branch. We're going to be joined shortly by Rob. Unfortunately, we still have not been able to get together physically to bring you guys our recaps and predictions. We're sorry about that. Life is getting in the way, but the show must go on. And also, we know you guys come to us for insightful boxing commentary and straight down the middle calling of fights, accurate calling of fights at that. So that's what we're going to bring you. Rob and I have discussed our thoughts on the fight, and I'm going to let Rob take it away and let you guys know what we think about these fights coming up. We got multiple fight cards on HBO and Showtime, and then for guys that are like us, that like MMA as well, you have UFC on Fox as well. So we got a loaded fight card, and Rob is going to let you know what we think about it. I'll be back in a second.
What's going on, fight fans? We back with this preview of the upcoming HBO and Showtime cards. Hakeem already did the intro, so let's go ahead with it. On the card, we have Lee Selby versus Jonathan Victor Barrios. Barrios, that's the 12 rounds for the IBF featherweight title. Just look for Selby to make a statement win because he's definitely going to want to take on the winner, Carl Frampton versus Leo Santa Cruz later on in the night. But it should be a good fight for as long as it lasts. But I'm looking for Selby to outclass Barrios, to come back strong from that broken jaw again and really make a statement. But also on the undercard, we got Mikey Garcia taking on Dejan Zlaticanin for Zlaticanin's WBC lightweight title. We know Dejan has been pretty active, and if you don't mind, I'm going to bring this up for a second. I try not to do this too much, but he's extremely short. He's only about 5'4", but he's extremely powerful. He's out of Montenegro. He's had a showcase fight to me. He TKO'd Franklin Mamani. He had a really good knockout win versus Ivan Redkach, and he did take out Ricky Burns in a split decision before Ricky Burns moved up to 140. So we know the guy has power. We know he can box. But he's got a tall order coming against Mikey Garcia. Granted, Mikey Garcia may be undefeated, but he hasn't been active. He had a 2-year layoff, and then after that 2-year layoff, he took on Elio Rojas, which Rojas is not bad, but 140, the fight was at 140. That's not his weight, and he's not really a world beater. You're talking about a guy that normally fights at I want to say lightweight or even sometimes super lightweight, but he lost to Garcia, he lost to Johnny Gonzalez, and he lost to Gamaliel Diaz. So he's not burning everything up. He just isn't. His best win is probably against Takehiro Ao. But this is an interesting fight because we know Mikey Garcia has the more polished resume. He's taken on just about anyone that you could ask for, from Orlando Salido, he's Juan Carlos Burgos, Roman Martinez, Juan Manuel Lopez. And he's pretty much taken out all of them. And he's a great counterpuncher, and he likes to walk people into his punches. And he has some pop, and he's going to be more athletic than Zlaticanin. Plus, he's tall and has a longer reach. But the thing about it, Zlaticanin, again, has been very active. Well, not very active, but he's been more active. Remember, he fought once in 2016, once in 2015, but twice in 2014. But again, Mikey Garcia has been off. So with Zlaticanin, he's a power puncher. He can come forward. He likes to throw that jab and just come in with some wide hooks and right hands. And he looks like he's trying to throw everything behind him. He has great leverage on the shots. He can walk his opponent down. He doesn't really cut off the ring, but the way he pressures fighters, he can just back him up. But he's fighting a completely different animal in Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia is going to move. He's going to fight off that back foot, and he's going to throw in between those looping shots. And I think because of his reach and his height, he's going to outjab Zlaticanin. But what he needs to do is discourage Zlaticanin in coming inside. He's going to make him pay just by running him into something. He's either going to jab with them, or as soon as Zlaticanin gets in his wheelhouse, he's probably going to throw the shorter, sharper punches. So I don't think he's going to knock out Dejan, but I think he's going to sharpshoot him, and he's just going to outbox him for 12 rounds. Now, that's not to say he's going to outbox him for 12 clean rounds. What I think is going to happen is he's going to outbox him and really have the better shots, but he's going to take some fire in there. And we got to see where his timing is against a guy like Zlaticanin, whose punches can throw off anyone's rhythm, anyone's timing, and make them think twice before stepping into his range. So I'm picking Mikey Garcia over 12. I think he's going to run into some trouble, but he's only going to run into some trouble because of the fact that he has not been active. So his timing might not be there. Then we also have on that card, the main event is going to be a rematch with Carl Frampton versus Leo Santa Cruz. And that's for the WBA featherweight title. And I can see those guys running into each other, running against Lee Selby. We got a split decision in the last fight, if I'm not mistaken. And to be honest, I thought Frampton won that pretty clean. He's much more athletic. He's much faster. And I think he has more pop on his punches. Because he has those fast twitch muscles, he can probably be burnt out. We saw that in the fight versus Selby and a few other fights. But he hasn't really shown that lately. In this fight, in the last fight, he was able to really affect Leo Santa Cruz and for the first time make Santa Cruz think, whoa, I can't just come forward on this guy. I'm going to have to think of some strategy. Forget strategy. With Leo Santa Cruz, I would like to see him start faster. He's got to take Frampton's legs away from him, which means he's got to get to him. Frampton fights very well. He can fight off the back foot, and he can move side to side very well. So he can really get angles, and because of his speed, he can hit Leo Santa Cruz with something that he will not see. With Leo Santa Cruz, I think he might have to go full Margarito on this one. Yes, Antonio Margarito, the guy whose defense consists of getting hit in the face. But the reason I say that is he's got to come forward, and he's got to start fast, and he's got to outlast Frampton over 12 rounds. If he cannot do that with his punch output, he doesn't have a chance. I think he's still going to get caught, and I think he's going to get hurt, and he might even suffer a knockdown. But the thing about Leo Santa Cruz is once he gets inside, and again, he could throw a pretty decent jab to work his way inside. He's got to go to the body as much as possible, and he's got to outwork. He's got to throw punches in bunches. That's exactly what has to happen. He's got to take Frampton away. He's got to take the tire out of his wheels very slowly without burning himself out. And we know he's a guy who can throw 1,000 punches or more in a fight. And this is what I expect him. I expect him to keep coming. He's going to take some punishment, but I think he just has enough of a good style. And also, I think he has a nice tight guard at times. I think if he tightens up his guard more and try to block those punches, he's not going to be able to make them miss. But I think if he can make those punches, glancing punches off his guard, shoulder, elbows, anything, then he has a better chance. But I can't see him do not take his time. He cannot take his time. He cannot be measured. I think he has to carry Frampton fast. And with those muscles, he's got to carry him fast. He's got to take his air and tire and energy away. But it's going to be a great fight. I still see Frampton winning this because I think he's just too sharp and he has too good a footwork for Leo Santa Cruz to overcome. But if Santa Cruz wins, we got to see the rubber match because these two guys are too good, and these fights are too great for there not to be a third fight, big money fight. I want to see it, and I know y'all do too. I think Frampton's going to win, but I'm going to Santa Cruz because I want to see a third match. All right. Now, let's move on to the to the HBO card, we got Terreno Johnson coming back, taking on Antonio Gutierrez at middleweight. Terreno really needs to put together a really good show, because he's going to start wanting to fight guys in the top 10. So we know we have Golovkin, Danny Jacobs. We actually got our boy from Richmond, Emmanuel Lim. Shout out to you, boy. And we just got other guys, and he needs to get back up into that top echelon, trying to work his way up to a title fight. Also on there, we got Saddam Ali. Check that out. Hopefully, he can come back strong. We have Takashi Miura versus Mickey Roman, or Miguel Mickey Roman, for the as a WBC Junior Lightweight title eliminator. As long as it lasts, don't close your eyes, because we know Miura is an all-action fighter. He has taken some damage, and Mickey Roman has also been in a lot of hellacious wars, and I expect this one to be no different. I think Miura wants it more just because he wants to take on Francisco Vargas again. And we know Francisco Vargas, let me bring him up, because he's fighting Miguel Berchelt. Whew, y'all asking a lot for me to pronounce these names. But yes, I know I'm typing. Hakeem's going to kill me. Francisco Vargas, having 2 draws, with the last one being to Orlando Salido, which a lot of people could have given to Salido, should be able to take on Berchelt, but Berchelt is a hard puncher. And we know Vargas has been in some wars. Like I said, he was in there with Salido. He was in there with Miura, which ended in a TKO, but they really went at each other. And he's gone in there with Juan Manuel Marquez. So those wars, we have to see how much they have taken out of him when he takes on Berchelt, who has earned his way up to fight Francisco Vargas for that belt. No names on his record really stand out, but he's kind of one of those guys that just fights. He's out of Mexico, and we know Mexico, they can fight 57 times before they could get a real big fight. And he's 30-1. He's only suffered 1 loss by KO. That was a while ago. He's just as tall, maybe a hair shorter, but the guy can punch. So I think Francisco Vargas tries to make a statement, because I think there's a big money fight out there for him. I think he takes on the winner of Takashi Miura versus Mickey Roman, just because I think the fans want to see that fight again. They want to see that kind of action. They need to see that kind of work, boss. So I think HBO might have the more action-packed fight. I really can't say who I want to watch more, because you have all action fighters on both cards. So, oh man, I don't know which one. I want to see more. I want to see Miura versus Roman and Vargas versus Berchelt, but I also want to see Letici versus Garcia. I think they have the higher profile names, but we're getting a great night of fights, folks, and I think you should turn in for both of them if you can. Do what I do, have one on the television, have one on the computer, and do the best you can to see both of them. Take it away, Hakeem.
Thanks, Rob. That's what we think on the fights. Hope you guys like that. Give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so yet, hit the subscribe button for more fair, accurate, and no frills breakdowns of the fights that you love to watch. Hit us up in the comment section below if you have any questions, if you have any insights on the fights as well, insider information, all of that. Social networks, all the links are below. Hit us up, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, fight on.
This is round 1 and you've already lost. They don't seem to see that everything we've done is coming and cost. My fists are on fire, I perform till I perspire. My demons are in a rage, keep thinking that it's a game. I kick crime, hurricane, I told them I don't play, I'm liquid.
Black Street Fighter.